everyone. Welcome back to Children of Éarte. We're so excited to have you. I think last time I forgot to say what chapter we were in. That was the 58th, I believe. We are now in the 59th chapter of Children of Éarte. So excited to have you all here. Thank you for being here with us. Adam, who are our sponsors today?
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, thank you for your continued support. We have an Electrum chest code that is available on the overlay or bouncing around in chat. We also have Die Hard Dice, who has gifted our cast with Stern's Story Starters.
Oh, I love that.
Story Starters.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is very cool.
So thanks, Tall Halfling, for that. And thank you, Die Hard Dice. There is a code Éarte that you can get 10% off your order there in their store, as well as a $20 gift promotional code that will be given out via the instructions in chat. And finally, tonight you'll hear the dulcet tones of Sirenscape because epic games need epic sound. I'm Adam Bradford, CDO at Demiplane, and tonight I am playing an amped and jacked out of his mind, ready to go. It's been all leading up to this.
He's going to take a nap first, but
yeah, that's it.
Take a nap. I need a nap.
Silas Sorrell, your dimensionally displaced magical superfan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alicia Marie, and you can find me on socials at Alicia Marie Body. I'm going to keep it really short and simple. I'm a costume artist, and I'm an actor. And tonight, I am playing Fairuza Armstrong, who, despite the fact that she is 6'3" and a licensed attorney, she's monumentally bad at convincing someone that she's trying to break into a magic sandcastle. I'm still mad about that.
Hi, I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on socials as at DreamWisp, or you can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWisp Jen. You can also check out some of the work I have done in Dreams and Machines, and then I do a bunch of other stuff, and you can find out about that through socials and such. But tonight I am playing your friendly neighborhood troublemaker, Maeve Morgan Flynn.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content manager over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on all of the socials as Obo Lauren. Tonight, I am playing Carolyn Nebula Stern, who is not quite as amped as Silas. I don't know why he's very amped about this. I mean, I just learned that I can destroy sandcastles by being a moose. So, I guess that's a thing. So we'll see what happens.
A new power.
Yes. Sandcastle destruction.
You've heard of bull in a china shop. This is a moose.
Moose in a
sandcastle.
Moose in the hoose.
All right, inspiration.
Thank you to everybody in Canada. I appreciate it.
What is the opposite of inspiration?
I did an episode about that, Adam. Don't you remember?
Hello, everybody. I'm Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on these socials at the Hope LaVelle. You can watch me as a dungeon master on Misfits of Alceta every Wednesday on the That's How We Roll channel. And tonight I will be playing Miss Robin Beckett, your favorite granny for hire, who is really learning a lot about magic this past episode, and maybe even more. And she's really leaning into it. I think she's taking a note or two from Silas, and she's having fun with it.
Nice.
Amazing. And I am Deborah Ann Woll. I am your storyteller, your coordinator of chaos, your cosmic GM. What are all the titles I have acquired over these weeks? And I'm very excited to have you all here. So, let's get cozy and ready to settle into our 59th chapter of Children of Éarte. So we just finished another 213 encounter where Silas and Fairuza successfully convinced Talron to that you are on his side and are going to help him take out Ivy as soon as you place the mirror shard. Meanwhile, inside Robin's hut, Sandcastle hut, Maeve, Robin, and Neb had a conversation with Ivy where you convinced her that you did not yet have the shard, but that as soon as you did, you would place it. She promised you that portals would open to her world and Talron's, and that you all could run there and be safe if you believe her. And that's where we are. Robin, you've made another sandcastle hoose for everyone to hunker down in. And for now, things are very cold, but they're comfy and pleasant inside the hoose.
So did we succeed, you guys think?
I think anytime we have any encounter with either of those two people and live to tell the tale, I'm considering it success.
Yeah, I call it a win.
Also, I was just thinking about something. Ivy said it wasn't going to take very long to open up a portal to her world, less than a minute.
Okay.
But it sounded like she has to open the portal. So she's got to actively do something.
Okay.
Which means if Talron is way more interested in fighting than fleeing, he's not
we have
gonna
to
spend time.
protect her for a minute. It's like a video game encounter. This happens all the time. It's like you go into a boss battle and you've got to, fight off all the ads while an NPC that just can't protect themselves is sitting there, channeling into some kind of magical something. In this case, it's going to be a portal. And like they're just channeling there. And then the ads are going to come up and try to attack everything. And the ad in this case is Talron. And we just got to keep the ad occupied while the NPC gets to 100% on the little channeling ritual. And then we're now the question for me though is, are we just going to jump in the portal after she gets done with it? I mean, are we all aligned on that?
That was actually going to be my question too. Are we just holding off the ad, or are we just trying to?
Well, I mean, we hold it
Talron
off until the portal's there, and I just want to put my thing out there that I'm kind of tired of being in this specific place. I wouldn't mind a change of venue, and so I'm going to jump in the portal if everybody is on board with that. But I don't want to leave you all.
Okay, so the idea of jumping into the portal is specifically jumping to safety, or we want to go where she's going.
I think we want to go where she's going, right? Because we've chosen to trust her. That's my assumption based on recent events. But
and where is that again that she's going?
Well, she said she was going to go home.
Do you think that means Éarte? Is that what she calls home?
I don't know, but from what I can gather, she said a number of things. She will open that door. She will open that portal, and it will release Talron. But I'm not sure that she was telling the truth about us being safe with her. I'm not sure she was telling the truth about her being done with Éarte. She was saying something about being done, just didn't feel
so
right.
Let me ask this: if she opens a portal and home means Waterworld, and we run into Kevin Costner floating on his little raft, or if she opens a portal and we go back to Éarte, I mean, just to remind everybody, Éarte is like where we kind of wanted to go, right? Like, so that's okay if she's trying to deceive us or whatever about that, because then we would be in Earth. And even if we're in like, I don't know, Hungary or something, we can all like buy flights back home wherever we need to go. So it's okay as long as we get to Éarte. But then if we're in Waterworld, then, that's kind of the other part of our point that we're trying to like figure out what's going on with these four worlds. I guess all I'm saying is it feels like either way that if we jump into that portal, we're at least not stuck in this limbo place that we've been in for several days now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Also, we have nowhere to go from here.
If we don't jump into the portal, then we're stuck with Talron, and she'll jump in the portal and lead us. Yeah, and leave us.
Well, okay, so we've made a decision then. We're going with Ivy to home.
I just think it's important too to think about the Ivy we know is a reflection. We've established that she has the wedding ring on the wrong hand, all of that.
So you think her personality is a reflection of who she is?
Maybe everything's a reflection. Sorry, I digress for a minute. Does it affect on me sometimes?
Existentialist crisis.
I mean, but at the same time, we don't know like what happens with this mirror. Like she might not be, presumably right now, she doesn't have the power to make a portal. And so she assumes that when the mirror is restored, she will be free and have at least enough power back to make a portal to home. And so I would assume that might mean that she maybe isn't a reflection after that too. She's something else after that.
But here's the other piece of this, is we don't know what she was before.
No.
We know that us being here, we've changed.
Mhm.
But the reverse could also be true, the same way. That she was an Éarte and it made her
More
human.
human. So
So-
she could be like a mermaid or something.
Oh.
I suppose.
Or if our concern was that the Ivy who got trapped in the mirror when she was a ruler was not necessarily a nice person, but her time on Éarte and with Julian has changed her in any way, then that gives me a little more hope about who we're going to get when we free her from the mirror, right? And that could also be why you were talking about you weren't sure if it
Mhm.
felt right that going home is to her world full of water, and it might mean Éarte. Well, if she still thinks Julian is out there and is still in love, it's possible that going to Éarte is the way for her to find him. I mean, I'd certainly look there if that was
But
all I
also,
knew.
we're missing a key point here. She has flat out said that nobody can just willy nilly make a portal to Éarte. So, because if she could make a portal to Éarte, I think she would have done that already. So I think that if she is convinced that she has portal powers whenever we restore this mirror, then I think that it is reasonable for us to assume that can't go to Éarte, because if these rulers could go to Éarte, what does this veil even exist for?
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be, it's somewhere other than here. And, I think it's reasonable enough to assume that would be whatever, place that she actually rules. Now, I do think it is a very, reasonable question to ask whether she is going to have that kind of power, because Talron even said when Fairuza and I were out there helping his dark cause, when we were out there doing that, he did reveal that, she was weakened. And so I think, it calls into question whether she's going to be powerful enough to create a portal. But, I think that is a risk worth taking, because, at the end of this, if we decide to put this mirror shard in there, what is going, like the worst case of what happens is they both come out, they're both fighting each other and us, and then just, destroying us here in the Veil. So that is absolutely the worst case that can happen here. And then we've just got to think about are we okay with that, as opposed to trying to get out of this place, of the Veil?
Well, something to think about is the fact that if she is weakened, then maybe we're seeing Talron in his weakened state, and then he's probably even more powerful when he gets released.
Oh,
And also, don't forget, all of the rulers can create portals to their own realms, so Talron could create one and try and bring her through it.
Ooh.
And we have two other rulers.
That's why we're here, though. I think.
Don't give the universe ideas.
There's a lot
we have to protect her.
I think the universe had those ideas already. I don't think I'm bringing anything new to the table.
I don't think that that's.
Yes.
I don't think that that's new at all. Like, he wants to get her. He either wants to kill her on the spot or take her back. Like, I think that that's very much so his plan, because every time that I have read his thoughts, it is very single-minded. Like, he wants Ivy, he wants to destroy her, he wants her. So yeah, we've got to assume that that's what he's wanting to do.
So of all of us, all the powers that we have been able to get while we're here in the Veil, the only person who really has the ability to read people is Silas, right? Of all of you, right?
I haven't been able to figure out.
To read thoughts, but Robin can understand his language.
Okay, so language ability. So Silas, when you hear Talron, it's I want her, but there's an anger involved. It's not like he's in love with her or something.
No, malicious intent, wants to destroy.
Okay.
And I don't know if that is about I don't know if that is because he thinks that he can swallow her power when she's destroyed. I don't know what that would be, but it's got to be something like that. Or to just take out a rival that can potentially stop him. So yeah, I think it is very safe to assume he is going immediately after Ivy, if we are not able to protect Ivy long enough to let her escape via whatever portal she thinks she's going to be able to make, then, we probably have failed in our little quest here, and she's going to either die or be taken back into whatever the fire realm is. But again, I do think it's also important to bring up that we have established, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, that they can't create portals to other people's realms. Okay. So if we can make it through a portal...
we have not established that, correct?
I could have swore that we heard something.
I don't think we...
I thought somebody told us that.
Pivim is sitting in the corner, listening to all of this. And he looks up at all of you and he says,
Aye, that's what the old stories say. But so much confuses me now. I want to say one thing. If you all are planning on going on into her world, you'll be doing it without me. My quest is for Larilia. I'm trying to get closer to home, not farther from it.
Oh, Pivim, well, you'll be stuck here in the Vale.
'Twas my fate before I stumbled upon your fine band of adventurers.
Pivim,
I am going to continue to look for the door that first brought me here. But I will stay and help you through this final quest.
That's kind of you to do. And if you want to stay, I understand why. But I've been rolling something around in my head and I don't have an answer to it. And it might be something for you to consider. All of this, everything that has happened, the ultimate reason is Julian, because he was a scribe. Everybody wants to get to Éarte. Everybody wants, but in the end, what they need is Julian. And neither Ivy, nor Talron, nor us know what happened to him. And so I think how people are going to react, especially the rulers, are going to depend on what they think is going to be the best way to find Julian or find out what happened to him and then search for the next scribe.
Or to find out, because again, we have been told that children of Éarte, which we are all examples of apparently, are important. And we have no idea how they think we are important or how they could potentially leverage us. So I would also assume that if we're not going with Ivy, if we are saying we don't trust Ivy, then and we are going to try to stay here, for instance, because we don't want to bid crash farewell, for instance. If that is what we decide to do, then that means that these rulers, even if they do go back to their places to recover and rest and gain their power, they're going to be back after us, or they're going to try to take... Talron's just going to grab 2 or 3 of us in his arms and like fly into his portal with us, like because there's got to be some... There's got to be some significance to our presence here because everybody has treated us like we're some kind of, precious resource.
Well, maybe this is where the story ends for us, and we move to the next chapter of the book.
Well, like we die and go to the afterlife? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the portal.
Well, and that's why whether we trust Ivy or not, I think it's important that we go through that portal because I believe she's going to continue to look for Julian. And I think we should too, because if the scribe is the key to getting to Éarte and we're trying to prevent any of the rulers, including Ivy, from being able to get to Éarte, then finding Julian or the next scribe is the key. And I'll look back over at Pivim and say, so if you come with us and we end up in the water place, that might not be a step away from home. That might be like a lateral thing if we're getting closer to a scribe who could get you home. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, but I thought I'd put it out there because once we find Julian and or a scribe, everything changes, I think.
He looks down at his tiny hands and is sort of wringing them over and thinking about what you've proposed. He thinks. He says,
This is a strong overture for heroes. I'll have to think on it. I'm not sure I have much more heroism left in me.
I don't know anything about heroism, but I know that you've helped a lot, and that's all that matters. And I just want you to... I don't think we know enough to make the right decision. I just want you to be able to make the best decision for you with the information we have. And whatever that is, I'll support you, but I'll also miss you.
And with all of the force of personality I can muster, I am going to support what Neb is saying. By saying, and perhaps in the water realm, they would have showers.
Or at least baths.
And I would love to try and
yes.
help persuade
Persuade.
with everything I
Roll
have.
a persuasion,
Yeah.
Neb. We will add her charisma to it.
Oh, we're
as well.
doing... Am I persuading?
You're
Okay.
persuading. She's adding her charisma bonus to your
All
roll.
right, here we go.
You've grown attached to crab.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so before
And-
whatever other thing I'm getting, I got a 24.
Oh, okay.
And I will add 4.
Oh my God.
That's a
Okay.
28.
28.
Very
The irony being
convincing.
Neb is like, I'm not necessarily trying to persuade him either way, although Neb
Sure.
kind of wants him to come with. She just thinks this might be a quicker way. But yeah, that's a
It's all about
28.
shower power.
So
The power of the
baths.
shower.
Yeah.
I think the combination
path
of
of
saying
bath.
that he's already helped so much, and I don't know that he even really intended, to be a help other than people to talk to and like, wow, more folks. And the idea of showers, a whole world of showers.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
You all look at him, and there is, as much as he misses his family and he misses his home, and every day away has been a challenge for him, there is just an adventurer's spirit deep within him. And you see him smile a little bit, to the side as you mentioned the showers, and he kind of looks up at you, Neb, down at your ankles, and sort of goes,
It would be fun. We could be penguins.
Oh yeah, that's probably a bird I can turn into because there's no feathers I gotta worry about because it's always the feathers. They're so
The
hard.
feathers are hard. You're right.
I haven't
Wow.
been able.
Who knew
yeah,
feathers were so tricky?
exactly.
You'll get there.
Thanks. But I mean, yeah, if you decide to come, I think that might be a step to finding a scribe that can get you back to where you want to, or at least I'll say this, and Neb will. She's not going to kneel because I think that would feel weird, but she'll sit so that we're a little bit more on eye level and say, I promise if you decide to come with, then part of my mission is going to be to help get you back to your home.
You know how, that old gesture of that little oh, add, good on you kind of thing. He does that to your nose with his tiny little fist, a little kind of, oh shucks. And just sort of says,
Wow, that sounds like a good deal to me.
So are we going through the portal?
Look, all
I
I'm
think
saying
so.
is a minute doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a very long time, especially when there's so many people and we're all doing something and we have to take turns. I'm just saying, if we even make it through the minute and she does get the portal open, I think it's our best option.
The other thing is, if Talron decides to make a portal, unless his power is so much greater than hers that he can make it super fast, they're essentially going to be chasing portals, right? So we might not have to worry about a second portal at all. Just
I've been inside his mind, and I can tell you that it is very unlikely in my eyes that he is not going to try to go after Ivy with every ounce of his being until Ivy is in a place where he can't get to. He is completely obsessed with that after what I've seen and felt coming off of him. And so I don't doubt at all that he can create a portal once we release him. But I don't think he's going to be doing that until after he is sure that he can't get to Ivy.
All right.
Oh
I think you're right. So what's the game plan?
Stay alive.
Well,
I
I
guess-
mean, we now have some powers of our own and a pretty good idea of at least some of the stuff that he can do, and we'll know when we release them, so we'll be able to time that, and we're pretty sure that his focus will be on Ivy. So with all of that in mind, we could probably think of a few things to be prepared for, right? Like be set up in specific ways to protect her or
It's
distract
just like
him.
it's like football. She's the quarterback, and we're the linebackers, and we just form a line and put down our shields and just charge forward so that So
We're leaving football a little bit here, but yes.
I'm just glad you were talking about football and not soccer, because I honestly don't know the rules to either.
Football. Yeah.
Oh no.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
Yeah, I find when I plan things for too long that it makes it worse. So honestly,
Yeah.
I'm fine with whatever all of you want to do.
we've gone with our gut for most of this trip, and we're here. So
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
Neb doesn't say anything,
No.
but she very distinctly rubs at one of the places that is scarred up from her going unconscious, and then just
From a
nods.
previous murder, from
From a
previous death.
yeah, several times, but she won't. She'll just nod.
With that, would you like to all take a long rest before in the safety hut here?
Yeah.
yes, long rest.
I can offer you all feel very, very safe in this little hut. You can, of course, do watches if you want to just keep an eye on things. Of course, things can see this sand castle hut here, but you'll feel really confident that they can't get in or do anything to you while you're in it. So it's kind of up to you how you want to handle it.
Okay.
I feel perfectly safe as long as people don't turn into meese or grow giant sized because they get angry. Like, I think we should be fine.
I don't know, Silas. I promised not to, but if I have a
dream, yeah.
Yeah, and then in my dream I turn into a moose, and then will I turn into a moose? You might need to be
I don't
prepared
know.
for that.
We'll all know it if this goes away because we're going to get very cold very fast. So
Don't think about a pink elephant, Neb.
Exactly. Oh, I wonder if I can turn into a pink elephant. That's for later.
Okay.
Let's all get some shut-eye.
Yes. So yes, the sand is surprisingly comfortable. The needlework pillows gently cushion you. It's a warm environment as you fall asleep and can see just a little bit through the transparency of this. And it's, I think the spell's an 8-hour thing. So, you timed it just right, Robin. And as you're all kind of beginning to nod off, you can just see the wildlife and nature around you as it begins to kind of feel alone again. As your voices quiet down, and the birds that fly by, and the squirrels, and the larger creatures just off in the shadows. As the sun rises and you don't have blackout curtains, you probably turn and twitch a little bit here. But 8 hours pass by hut. You all begin to get a little chilly, but it is daytime. Your warm weather gear is enough to protect you, but it does start to rouse you, wake you up, and there you are, midday.
The hut is gone.
The
you
hut
woke
is
up
gone. Last 8 hours, so it takes your whole nap time.
That was not me. Not
I'm
me.
sorry, everyone.
You wake up on the snowy ground.
That is one fresh way to wake up.
The house disappearing? Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
All right, I guess we're awake now.
Let's get a fire going and get some breakfast.
Yes.
And I'll hold out my hands and go, what do we want to try for today?
Robin has her little spray
it's
bottle.
going to be berries.
Silas, one of these days it's not going to be berries.
Okay.
And
I can't
then-
wait for that day.
And then you're going to be eating something
You will
That's
eat
not
your
berries.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll eat your words.
I
You'll
will
eat
gladly
crumbs.
eat
Don't
those
encourage
words,
it.
and I hope that it's bacon.
How about Neberry bacon and waffles? Can you make that?
As long
that
as it's
smile
not
happen,
chicken and
Robin?
waffles, I don't understand why people are completely obsessed with that nowadays.
Let's go with waffles. I feel like I'm just thinking of little tiny piglets if I think of pork, and so let's waffles, and 10 berries appear.
Yes.
All right.
But Robin sprays them and they smell like bacon.
Bacon and syrup and.
I just close my eyes and imagine.
You may notice about Neb as her hands extend with her berries that the blue is extra brilliant. That dust bath or whatever you did the other day, it's really kind of shined up, and it's just looking more and more organic and more, more that maybe the skin is the scar and the scales are the real thing.
Your sand did a great job. I'm way less itchy now.
Wow, Neb, you're glowing. You're beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know how much further it's gonna go, but it's I don't know. I mean, maybe if I get enough of it, I'll have armor like Pivim, like you were talking about.
Maybe if you get enough of it, you can
armadillo.
join the Blue Man group when we get back to Éarte.
Oh, I love the Blue Man group.
I've always
I've
wanted
seen
to
them
see...
8 times.
Oh, really?
In
You're a
real life,
blue
yeah.
head? No.
I knew someone who applied to be one of them, like in their Vegas show, and they were told that their eyes weren't googly enough in order to be, but that their percussion skills were great.
Well, you need to start practicing your googly eyes then.
I don't know how I practice that, but I'll do my best. Maybe that's something that I'll get when I get more of the scales. Maybe they'll help
Tobias
set the...
Funke would be proud.
That's interesting. I wonder if it's going to cover your whole body eventually.
That's what I was asking the last time. Yeah.
I mean, every time I come out of being a different thing, I look and there's a couple more. So I'm not going to stop turning into stuff. So I probably...
Man, you're so patient because, like, if I thought that that's what was going on with me, I would be like, turn into something, stop. Turn into something, stop. I would like try to get it all done at one time.
So I'm not gonna lie, I've done that a couple times.
Oh,
I look over at Pivim because he was awake that one night. We talked and I was just turning back and forth. Yeah. But I appreciate that you think I'm patient.
Robin is off looking at her own skin, and she's kind of like picking at it and like feeling it, and she doesn't really say much except she's, I feel tougher.
Sunburn or just your skin feels tougher?
I feel like my skin feels a little harder, and then she looks at her backpack, and once again she's like, my backpack just got bigger. When will it end? I don't know how I'm gonna
the
carry
body
that.
bag at some point.
I mean, same. Go ahead. What were you saying, Maeve?
It's going to be a sleeping bag.
Yeah, well, I was going to say same thing as
sleeping
with
bag. I should have
Neb.
said sleeping bag.
Yeah, much better option.
Same thing with Neb. Like, I'd be just taking naps all day because it's like it gets bigger every time you wake up, apparently. So,
I mean, there's only so much napping you can do. I wonder if it'll get big enough that it'll turn into like a hot air balloon or something.
I wonder if
Does
the
anyone else
strength will
go
also
in
improve,
scales?
Silas takes off his shirt and is like feeling all over the place. He's like, no, I don't think wait, check my back. Any scales?
No scales.
Okay.
But I will say it is a beautiful day. The birds are chirping, the sun is out. You feel stronger and refreshed, and there is just this energy coursing through you. Again, this feeling of fate, of destiny, that again, it is less change and more revelation that is occurring to you.
I agree. I definitely feel different, and I can't put my finger on it, but I don't know. Maybe it's what we were talking about last night that's done it, but I feel fast. I feel faster. I feel like I can jump. I feel like I can And she looks around like for something to throw, and then she looks straight at Nev, and then she's like, "No, I won't do that."
I mean, all I ask is that you ask first.
And also catch.
Pivim is sort of
I mean,
jumping up in front
Fastball
of you.
special.
It depends. It depends. Are you which way you're throwing me? But I do give you permission as long as you ask. Like,
Hey,
give me
let
a
me
heads
fly
up.
up a little bit.
Try.
And throw Pivim toward me. See if I can
I
catch
want
him.
to try.
Oh, I don't. I'm afraid. What if I throw him at you and he implodes upon contact?
I'll
I
be
don't
a bird. I'll be a bird.
know.
Do it.
That's a fun way to launch as a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a
Oh,
bird. I'll only
Oh,
fly
we'll get a
away.
cool. We'll get a
Yeah.
cool move. You throw me as far as you can, and I'll turn to a bird.
But you have to yell out fastball special, or it doesn't count.
Okay.
Fastball special.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
Colossus throwing Wolverine.
Who needs to do the yelling of that?
Who?
Fastball
Me?
special.
Both of you, Pivim
Oh, boy.
and Fairuza, at the same time.
same
Like you,
time.
one of you can say one word, the other word. However, but both of you got to say it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, I'm
And
up
he
here.
gets in
Left
like
over.
cannonball stance. You know, he gets his legs tucked up underneath him, and he's all,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So cute. And then she's gonna start like running in the other direction, and she's gonna say, "Go long to Silas."
Yeah, he's
This is gonna
going.
go.
He's running an
Ready,
aerial
Pivim?
route.
Okay,
Ready.
tighten up. Fastball.
Fastball.
Special.
if you want to
She's
give me
gonna
an athletics check.
Shot put special.
Gnome
Yeah,
toss.
shot with him at Silas. Because now she has this ability to throw things effectively, and that they can actually be used like in battle.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you catch him, Silas?
Do you do an athletics check? Do you have, or is there? Yeah, go ahead, do an
Let me see
athletics
if I
check.
can do it on here. If not, I will do it
No
on
worries.
my phone. If this doesn't come up, we'll see. Athletics check, please work, because I don't want to hurt Pivim.
This better work.
Well, he can turn into a bird, so
Yeah.
hopefully, if something
Oh,
goes wrong, he can
that's
bird.
14.
A 14. Still pretty good.
Okay.
It goes a little high. It's not, not like that strong spiral that you were trying to get towards Silas.
Mhm.
Again, it goes a little bit more high, and Pivim's like,
I want to moss it. I want to just jump up, and moss it. Am I going to get a chance to try to catch it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So Pivim's starting to do like somersaults and spirals in the air, having the time of his life. But you can see he's gonna come short, Silas. So Silas, why don't you give me an athletics
All right.
check?
Ooh, that's nice. I'm so glad I'm using the great roll right now for this. That's a 25.
That's 25.
Oh my god.
Well, Silas, you can fly. It's not really a fair. But you fly up, you catch Pivim, who then kind of sits on your shoulder as you settle back down to the ground. He's like, yeah.
And then I'm basically like, wait, no, Pivim, we got to celebrate now. And then I start doing the gritty.
Oh,
Like,
he's gonna mimic you, and he'll run up back to you, Fairuza. He's like,
Oh, we can do something good with this.
That's it.
Robin like reaches into her bag and she kind of pulls out some like sparkles that she uses in her craft book, her like photo album. She just throws them in the air and they kind of come down as like a 10.
I love it. And that was pretty far, and it felt like I was
Actually,
throwing
no,
like
it's
rocks.
6 points, Miss Robin, when you score a touchdown, not 10.
Wow. I got the shields wrong and now my bad. It's a field
It was
goal.
an
so-
Olympics. It was an Olympic
Yes, it was
score.
a-
It was an
He
Olympic
was
football game. I got
rating you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Or shot put. It was just a shot put shot. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But Pivim, immediately starts like,
Okay, you throw me at Talron, and when I get on top of Talron, I'll turn into something with big old claws. Yeah? And I'll just dig my way in there. Yeah?
We finally have a plan, everyone. That's all
This
it's
is
going
what
to
I'm
take
talking
right
about.
there.
I like it. With your arm and my claws are unstoppable.
Sounds like a terrifying Frankenstein.
But I'm here for it.
Have I don't think any of us have ever touched Talron before, have we?
I mean,
Talron's touched you.
Yeah.
It depends on what
Ooh,
you
what
mean
is that?
by touched.
Yeah, he
And-
mollywopped some of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
true,
mean,
that's
the,
true.
the,
That
the
part,
first
that
time
part.
we've locked horns a couple times. Ow. But,
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, what do we do?
So it is morning. You have long rested. What would you like to do?
Well, where do we
So-
want to do this?
And do we think
Um,
it's better to do during the day or
Yes.
at night?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything's easier in the day. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
So-
less atmospheric, but whatever.
She
Just
said to find a
checking.
clearing, correct? We should go find a nice big clearing.
Yeah, we just need to try to get Ivy as much separation for wherever she's going to try to do this as we can. And I don't know how that's possible because they come out of the same mirror. But if there is ideas on that front, I think it's good.
We
Can
did
Taryn
this
fly?
already. Yeah,
Okay.
we did this already. You grabbed the mirror. We had
Okay.
Ivy come out, and then you grabbed the mirror and brought it way up into the sky. We found out Tolerant can fly, so it didn't have the intended
Yeah,
effect.
but
But
when she comes out, I need to fly away with the mirror as far as I can get and then hightail it back.
Well, but they come out at the same time.
No, there's that 10-second gap.
Oh, okay, then perfect.
Yeah, but then everybody needs to be wherever I'm flying to
Oh, no,
try to
it's
slow
the
him down.
minute gap. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's all good.
I
did
can
it
get a
wrong last
long way
time.
in a
I'm
minute.
sorry.
well, so
Well,
so
a
that's
minute's all we need.
hopefully.
So-
A minute's all we need to cast the portal.
Miss Robin, I've got an idea here.
All right.
I have seen you haven't done this, I don't think, to me yet, but I've seen you with some of the others, like pull them like from a distance to
Yeah.
another place.
Mhm.
Like, so my concern is if Ivy pops out, starts portal rituals, all right? And then that's like going on. And then I fly away for like a full minute or 45 seconds or whatever. And I get as far as I can from Talron and then like put that in there. Like by the time I fly back, it theoretically would still take me almost a minute. But if I can like, I can do some things to make myself faster. And then like, if I'm like far away, do you think you can like pull me the rest of the way? Like how far can you do that?
Oh, I mean, if we're talking football and yards converted into feet, I would say if this were football, it'd be 90 feet.
Okay, that's pretty good, actually. I guess what I'm saying is, like, if we agree that it's good for me to get the mirror as far away as I can after Ivy comes out, then I will take it 50 seconds away. And then when I see the smoke starting to, like, I will throw it, get it as far away as possible, and then hightail it back as fast as I can.
Just to not mislead you here, though, I got excited about that because I screwed up a little bit on the last one, but it all would have worked out about the same if you had an extra minute with Ivy. But you are not. This is not 213. You are putting the glass shard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good, and
This
I
is
guess
not
we can't
213.
assume that it's going to work the same way. Yep.
But
No, that's fair.
either way, with a good pep talk from me, you can be very hasty, and maybe some sort of plan that's similar will work.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet
Yeah.
they're going to come out at the same time.
Yeah,
I feel like
probably.
the whole mirror will probably explode. Be my guess.
Into shards again, and some hapless people
Oh my
going to a
God.
train trip one day are going to
Oh
all of a
my
sudden need to
God.
restore it all, and everything, the circle will completely start over. All of this has
Find
happened
ourselves
before.
back in
All of it
stage.
will happen again.
To get stuck with a necklace and get killed by 5 other hapless strangers
Oh my God.
years later.
Amazing.
All right.
I
Let's do
have
this.
a question. Are there any things in the stories or the journal
Mhm.
that might give us some hints, thoughts, anything that seems to flag with the things that we're talking about
Mhm.
or that are close to those ideas thematically or anything like that?
Great. I would say you make an investigation check, and I'm going to have Pivim make a history check, and we'll
Okay.
just see, what kind of advice comes to you.
Can I help Maeve out with that, especially since if you pull out
Maeve's
the
is an
book of
intelligence
stories?
trick, an intelligence check, and Pivim's is a history.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wouldn't know any history but about this, but yeah, I think if you're like combing through the storybook, I can definitely help with that. So
That would be great.
My intelligence modifier is +3.
Okay, so that puts us at a 16.
Okay, great.
It's not super well.
So, from your investigation of the journals and things like that, she was deeply attached to Julian. He was deeply attached to her. So you do think there's something to Neb's point of view that he is, if any semblance of her human love and life remains, there is attachment there. However, paired with Pivim sitting there and kind of rethinking through all of the stories that he knows, she needs to go home in order to get the kind of power she needs to even try to find him. So again, when you're talking about steps and stages to get what you want, with that information put together, you feel really confident that she is going to make that portal and go home. Now, what her intentions are with you, as I've shared before, you're a little iffy on how honest she's been about that, but you feel really strong that like that's her move, and that if you want to go through a portal, the best chance you have is to just protect her and keep Talron off her until she can get that done.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right, let's find a place where we want to have this battle, I guess.
So what if, so since I have established, a rapport with, and he's smirking all the way through this, a rapport with Talron, perhaps I can delay him at least even a few seconds if he's coming out at the same time by I don't know, providing a sit rep or, something.
Or like
What if we
pretend
go
you're
back to the
warning
water?
him, right?
What was that, Maeve? Sorry?
I was thinking, what if we go back to the water and we put it in the water face down?
He's
Oh yeah,
a
she
creature
is
of
much
smoke.
more powerful.
He's a creature of smoke and fire. She's a creature of the water.
All right. I like this.
Unless she's lost her gills ability or something, she's so weakened and she
No,
starts drowning.
but if nothing else, it might slow Talron down because of the fire. Fire
Yeah.
and water tend not to work together.
Hey,
so
I'm
well.
with you
If
there.
put it face down into the water, it might slow Talron
Can anybody
down.
make it rain? Have we figured that out yet?
I thought you were the wealthy one.
Or
Can't make it rain with bunches of money.
well, we're not supposed to be that far from the shoreline, right? Because that was what the train tracks were going to follow, and that's
Well,
a
and
big
we
body of water.
found the
That lake
There's
with
a
all the
lake.
dead people.
river. Well, we found the lake with all the dead people, but there
And
was
the
a
river.
stream that led to
Yeah.
that, a river that led to that too.
I mean, what kind of stream is this though? Is it a creek stream, or is it
It was pretty brook, not really a.
But if we follow it to where it's going to assumably drain into the big water, a beach is not a bad place to have this encounter. And then if Maeve is right,
have y'all ever ran in sand?
Well, yeah, but
It's
it's going to be an open space, is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
near water, which will help Ivy.
We don't have to do it. It's just a thought.
Yeah, no, I think water's a great idea. I'm just not thoroughly convinced that, if this is a sandy beach, now if it's like a rocky, volcanic thing or
I
something,
assumed it was rocky. Yeah, I assumed it was
I don't
rocky,
know.
but I don't know.
So
I
your
think-
last view when you were at the waterside, at the Blackwater Bay, it was mostly kind of cliffy along the shore. There was that one place you could go down to that beach, where the boat was. But it was pretty cliffy. You have no idea what is where. You also, part of your choice to go into the woods was to go kind of the opposite, or perpendicular to the tracks rather than follow them parallel. So you didn't really follow the tracks. You came into the woods to kind of cut off the long corner. The train was going around the wood and you went straight through it.
I've got an idea. If we can find a cliffy place where the water is, then Miss Robin, you can be ready for whenever I can get up somewhere, fly up with the mirror, and hover it over the ocean. And then place the shard. And when you can see her, because you just got to be able to see someone, right? Like,
That's right.
And then you can suck her to us. And then I could drop the mirror and Talron might fall in.
Maybe.
Even though you fly.
Yeah, he can fly, but maybe he doesn't know what's going on for the first few seconds.
Well, I mean, I don't see why it's not worth a try.
I don't know.
I think it.
We might not be able to get any separation, but the more separation we have, the further away he is from her, the better off we're going to be. Because that's what he's going to do immediately. Unless he can just, teleport right over to her. And in that case, like, we're probably losing anyway.
My guess is he can't, because he would have done that already, right? Even if the both of them come out more powerful than what we've seen, that doesn't feel like something he should be able to do right away, or else he would have. Now, the other thing we can do, instead of trying to get as much separation as possible, we could lay a trap. If we know he's going to come out of one direction, why not lay some traps there that he has to deal with right away before he can go chase anyone?
I mean, it's worth a shot if we assume that they're going to come out the same way they've been coming out.
I mean, what kind of traps do we even have?
Us. We're the trap.
I mean,
traps are a great idea. I just don't know what we have.
We're talking about a creature of smoke and fire. So my thoughts are anything that has wind, cold, water, fire extinguishers, I don't know. And then we're talking about a creature of ice and water, who we don't trust much. We didn't trust any of them, but
it could also just be, since we know where he's going to appear, we just are encircling him or that spot, ready to pounce on him. Although I don't know if I'm going to turn into a cat, but I mean, I could.
We have seen Ivy run, and she's quite quick. I'm sure she's going to come out of that mirror running.
I wish there was a way to use something like the Hall of Mirrors, the Hall of Ice Shards that we saw, that was so confusing. But I don't know how to make that.
I really think we're just going to have to, like, we are making a lot of assumptions here, and when we put this shard in there, we don't actually know what's going to happen. And so, like, I think that we just need to do the best that we can, and then grip it.
You say that like someone who's only needs one way of doing things, instead of having a whole host of other options ready.
I am saying that as someone who loves to improvise.
What I'll say is you're lucky if that's the way you get to do things.
I'm honestly not even following what you're getting at, Maeve.
That's all right.
The only thing I can think of is probably a bad idea as far as traps go, because you're right, he's a creature of fire, and so asking a bunch of plants to grab hold of him as soon as he arrives might not work as well as I thought.
He also can just turn into smoke and get out of any physical bonds that we would try to.
I have an idea.
Throws her hands up.
I used to be able to. I worked for this agency called Sleepy Time, and it's one of those things where if you can't sleep, you call in, and then they have someone really boring tell you a story until you fall asleep.
Oh my God, that's genius.
I love those podcasts.
And this was a service that I was part of for, a good summer or two. And I have a chance that there might be something I can do on the data, slow Talron down, if I kind of tap into that old school energy.
I can also make sure I've got a bunch of fireflies ready right there, so that even if he does turn to smoke, I can keep him lit up.
And I'll keep my eye on him.
I'll hit him.
Listen, you hit real hard, so.
Has Talron ever had any visible weaponry?
Not
just
in
his
your
horns.
Manufactured weaponry?
Not in your memory, no. Just just horns and charging and fire in general.
Has he ever
Is
had clothing or attire of any sort?
No.
Okay.
Naked.
There's
bull.
nothing in the story about anything like Talron, right?
In the story, the fairy tale book.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
Okay.
There's a lot of elemental nature stuff pops up a lot. The idea of things being in balance pops up a lot. But nothing. There are no bulls or fire creatures in that kind of way. No.
I was just wondering if the thing that ties Ivy and drives Ivy is Julian, if Talron has something other than Ivy.
Killing Ivy.
Something that we could maybe illusion.
Yeah, or just use as a distraction.
I mean,
Can we make more than one illusion of Ivy?
I mean, what I was going to say is, he's already presumably coming out of the other side of the mirror. So, wherever we place this, if he comes out that way, we can absolutely, put an illusion of Ivy in the distance. And then I can try to, leverage my rapport and say, hey, she's over there, master.
For what it's
and maybe it can at least distract him going
for what it's worth, an illusion didn't work with Talron before.
Yeah, I was going to say he can read through all that.
We tried it before and it didn't work. So
when did we try that?
The first time we met Talron.
But what did we do? Because it might have just been a bad illusion.
Oh, it was very good illusion. Thank you very much.
Well, you haven't told me what it was for me to know whether it was bad or not.
It was apparently so good that we don't even know it happened.
You know what it was? I tried something similar to what you're describing. Tried to show him Ivy. He had no interest.
Oh, okay.
So we're not going to outsmart him.
Well, or at least we're not going to trick him.
I already
in
have for
that
2
way.
nights in a row.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, so
not to put too fine a point on it, but I have outsmarted him 2 nights in a row, and I'm saying that there is the potential that he could be distracted again.
Well, he'll be very distracted if, when he comes out of the mirror, we all just attack him immediately.
I'm perfectly fine with that plan.
I am too.
Okay.
I don't know how fine I am with him, but we'll know it'll work.
You have lots
We're
of
ready.
options
He's ready. We're ready.
to pull out of your hat, should you need them, so should you want them. As the GM, what I'm hearing is you were going to search for a open space that might be the lake, that might be a clearing. If it's going to be the shoreline, that's actually like a day and a half walk. You're gonna have
we're
to.
not doing that.
It's time to. If you're gonna go to the beach or the cliffs, you need to really make a trip of that. So you find some sort of wide open space. There might be water on the lake involved, that kind of a thing, or the stream. You are going to place the mirror shard. It sounds like Robin is, if she can, going to try to take Ivy as far away as possible. While you all immediately focus fire on Talron as he comes out. Is that the general first step of the plan, as I understand it?
I think so.
Okay.
Do we want to move Ivy away from us if we all are going to need to get through Ivy's portal quickly?
Okay, well.
That was where Robin was going to move her.
Right. But if she makes the portal.
We can't get to the portal.
Oh, you mean if it's too far?
If it's too far. We all have to get there.
I don't think I'm going to be able to move Talron.
I don't think that we are going to be able, wherever we start with this, she can move her a long way away. And we are going to be moving closer and closer to that portal because Talron is going to be moving closer and closer to that portal.
But
we are going to be very unlikely to stop him. And so, I'm not worried. She can move her far away. It's just trying to keep him from hitting her multiple times.
Is Ivy is not going to keep the portal open long enough for us to get there.
I trust that. Yes, 100%. I do not trust her that.
Well,
that
if she
much.
doesn't make a portal in the first place, it doesn't even matter. We don't get that far.
Then she's lying about everything.
No, she's
can't, like,
gonna make a
we
portal, but
can't-
she's probably just gonna step through and be gone,
Close it.
and then we
Mhm.
can't follow her.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So we keep her close.
I mean, what I'm saying is that is a very likely outcome, regardless if that's
That's a
what's going to
future
happen.
me problem.
That
Yeah,
is nothing we can
there's-
control.
Pivim,
But if
Pivim
we're
up, and he says,
It's a strong possibility. But remember, they want children of Éarte. They want you.
mhm. Oh, this is
So
okay.
okay.
All right.
I
Okay.
don't know what
Also-
they want you for, but
And Maeve, I agree that that is a possibility, but so far, except for a couple of idle conversations that we've had, we have proven to be her ally. And what we're about to do is to continue to be her ally. And we've shown that we've got some power under our belt. So her doing that would basically be her also giving up on any future relationship with any of us. Whereas if she does what she can to help us, she can continue, at the very least, if we're thinking the worst, use us.
I'm
But
just
I-
saying, I looked in her eyes and I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. Which isn't very far.
which is getting farther every day. though.
Which is getting farther every day.
Very
Yeah.
far.
But if that's what you all think is the way to go, then that's what we'll do.
And Silas, you don't. What do you? Have you ever like felt anything weird from Ivy's
Yeah,
talking?
I mean, no, I mean, Ivy is motivated.
Okay.
Both of these beings think on different levels than we do. And there's more going on in their minds than when I pick up surface thoughts from you all. So it's it's a maelstrom of activity in their heads. And so I don't think that any of us, including me, who can read some of their thoughts, know the designs of their machinations. And I think that we just need to focus on controlling what we can control right now. And we absolutely, we're past the point now. We've made a decision that we're going to place this mirror shard, because one of the options is we just don't ever place it and they stay trapped forever, and then presumably we stay trapped forever here in the Vale too, and
Or
we live out our lives.
or we have two other rulers where we have a bargaining shard.
If I had,
I don't think it's the way to go. I'm just saying.
honestly, I think if
The
we had,
GM frantically.
No, I won't do that. I
Deb
won't.
is like,
I'm
oh my
sorry.
god.
I'll give
I'm
us,
sorry. No,
I'll give,
I,
no,
I
no,
apologize. I retracted it. Struck
No,
from the
no,
right.
I'll give us an out. I've got an out for this. Maeve, I think that is I would do that, except I have no idea how to contact either of these rulers. We don't know where they are.
Pivim's been
Correct.
looking
Yeah.
for swamp lady forever and hasn't been able to find her. So
Yeah. So
Hola, great
unless we
soda.
unless we find some clues as to where they are or how to contact them, we're just waiting for them to show up. And it's very possible they will, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to lose light here at about 4 p.m. and it's already noon.
10 a.m.
Right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this.
All
We
right.
have to take a leap of faith.
What clearing? Do you want to go to the lake, or are you going to just find something in the woods?
no, we do
Clearing.
not want to go where all those dead people coming out of the lake are. Please,
Yeah, clearing.
no one
Fine.
say that.
As
Yes.
much as water is a good idea, zombies are a worse idea.
All right. It doesn't take you very long. Within about half hour, 45 minutes, you find a significant clearing. It's about, let's say, 90 feet across in diameter. Really big, wide open space. It's kind of boggy. The ground is a little bit soft here. You don't have to use this spot, but I'm warning you.
That would be difficult terrain, yeah?
Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a little more time. I think we should
Okay.
look for a better place.
Fantastic. Second
Yeah.
spot you find.
We're gonna need our movement.
Ooh, second spot you find. There must have been a lightning strike here. This clearing is only about 30 feet across, but everything within it is charred and blackened.
Oh boy.
That might not be good either.
Something that's already burned can't be burned much more.
That's true. And
30 feet across.
And
Only
honestly,
30 feet across. It's a smaller clearing.
Okay.
but once again, we're only going to be able to separate the two of them so much because we have to get to the portal and he's going to be moving. So I don't know if we need more room than this.
Yeah.
I think
Good
we have a little
idea.
more time to try one more place. But I'm a gambler. Don't forget me.
Oh,
We can
Third
look at a
time's the
second
charm.
spot or a third spot, and if it's not good, come back.
come back.
that's right. You look at a third spot. It is almost as if Die Hard Dice loves you so much and sponsors this channel, this show.
And 3 is a magical number.
And 3 is a
Yes.
magical number. For
They knew it. Die Hard
ampersands.
Dice knew it.
Ampersands are on your side today. You find a 60-foot in diameter clearing of beautiful forest grass that is peeking up through the snow. It is good, strong, clear earth. The sun is still shining brightly. There could not be a more ideal spot for a
Here we go. This is
We
what
can
I'm
destroy
talking
it. Perfect.
about. Let's get this set up before the sun goes down. We can do this.
All right, where are you going to place this mirror and then place this shard within this 60-foot circle?
We're gonna put it on one end.
Yeah, like one end and then get Ivy to the other
Yeah.
end.
Okay.
Keep Talron in the woods, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think, Silas? Maeve?
I don't care. I mean, I don't know if it's going. Anything we say is going to make a difference. Like because we don't know what's about to happen.
If we're in the center and we put the mirror at the end, Talron will go into the woods, and as soon as Ivy steps out, I put her to the other end. So we're
That
only
sounds
half the
great.
distance.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Sounds
One
Okay.
end. Mhm.
Every second is going to be useful. And if he has to spend a couple of seconds turning around, that's a couple seconds that we get to keep him off of Ivy.
All right.
So, Robin, you lumber over this heavy bag on your back, but you feel strong. Oh, yes. What is that, Neb?
Well, I was just going to say, as we're setting this up,
Yes.
Neb does want to position herself in a specific way. And there are 2 things I want to do just before we put the shard in.
Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
there's
other
something I
people
wanna do as well.
replacing the mirror here in a moment. I will absolutely give you an opportunity. So yes, Robin, you take the mirror to the spot at the edge of the tree line that you think is going to be the best for your perspectives. You place the mirror side facing in towards the center of the clearing, and the wood side is probably leaned up against a tree at the other side. You put your backpack back on. I believe, Silas, you still have the shards. Anything you want to do before you place it, let me know now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to step out like literally just before I place it. So, Neb, if there's something that you're wanting to do,
Two things.
yeah, you go ahead.
One which I can be doing as we're setting this up. You'll see that as Neb literally walks into the clearing and is following everybody, she'll shimmer and become that kind of swirling blue and purple form that she's taken on before. And almost instinctually reach back, and as if she's pulling a bow off of her back, but it's still just her rock in her hand, and she's going to set up in front of the mirror side, but off to the side a little bit.
Okay.
And is going to be watching for Silas. As soon as he puts the mirror shard in, she's going to summon a whole bunch of fireflies to inhabit the whole area behind the mirror, so that when Talron comes out, he's basically coming right out into fireflies.
Gotcha. Okay. And you're all gathering in the center of this clearing. So you're about 30 feet from the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I would like to know where everyone thinks the most advantageous place for me to be hidden is. So when I come out, I can go straight into some stabby.
Stabby.
Okay.
Where would you like to be?
I feel like the best chance is like right away while we're still near the woods, because then otherwise it just depends on where the fight takes us.
Like up in a tree or around a corner of a tree right near
Drop
the
Maeve.
mirror kind of thing. All right, so
Yeah,
Maeve,
okay.
you're in the trees, up or on the ground, whatever you prefer, but you're on the trees, within 10 feet of that mirror kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
I will make sure that I
Please,
place
we'll have you
the
do it first thing.
yeah, I'll
I
make sure I
just-
place the fireflies in a place in where Maeve could drop down
My
and
stealth
not
is a
land
25.
in them.
Gotcha.
Hold up,
Great.
Maeve, just before you leave. Like, so basically, as you start to like scurry off, Silas is just going to say he's going to kind of float up just barely, and then you see that he begins to speak, and as he does, this kind of bluish energy rushes up and almost kind of encapsulates where Silas is, but you can barely still see him kind of shimmering between it, and then he just raises his voice and says, Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. And then basically you see that energy just like transform into a semi, and it begins to roll forward like through everybody. And that's going to be Beacon of Hope, which means that for the next minute, everyone gets advantage on wisdom saving throws. You get advantage on death saving throws.
Let's hope we
And
don't use that.
And you get maximum healing from, if you get healed from any source, it is maximum.
Wow.
Good to know.
Wow.
Beacon of Hope. Okay.
That is Megatron.
And then
I know.
I would like to ready something like, since Silas and I think are going to be right next to each other in the center of the field, correct? Literally, I'm holding this action till the moment he's about to place the shard.
Okay.
I'm going to touch him and give him haste.
Okay. Because are you placing, Silas, are you placing the shard with your
telekinetically
from 30 feet away?
From the center?
Okay.
Yes.
So everyone's in the center of the clearing. Maeve, you're hiding in the trees just off. Sorry, Maeve.
May I
I'm
also
sorry.
have make my duplicates?
You can
and
make your
have those
duplicates.
hiding-
Yes, you can
hiding in
prepare
the
your
trees with
duplicates.
me.
Maeve, you've got your duplicates. You're all hiding in the trees, not far from the mirror, but away from the fireflies, as the other four and Pivim gets ready. Pivim, I think he's going to stay for now. He's going to stay Pivim for now. But you see him kind of, having learned from Silas and Fairuza, he takes kind of a stance as he gets ready and kind of looks up to you, Fairuza, and he's like,
Yeah.
Oh, we got this. I know we do.
He's ready. Okay.
Oh, but I want to say, speaking of Fairuza, she
Yes, Fairuza.
distinctly still has her messenger bag on. She doesn't know why she can't take it off. She doesn't know. She still can't figure out, like, what is the word in my head that is making me need to have this stupid nutcracker on me. She's like, just pats it. And she wants to stand, I guess, as close like to where Ivy would come out and need the most protection. That's what she's thinking. So that's wherever she is.
So you don't want to be in the center. You'd like to be either
Right, where she
closer to
comes
the
out.
mirror. Okay, you're going to be closer to the mirror. All right, Fairuza, you want to be like 10 feet in front of it kind of thing?
That's good.
Okay, you're right there. Silas.
All right. He opens his bag and he actually puts his bag just down on the ground. You see the shard floats out. He spins it a little bit and he's like, all right, everyone, are you ready? And he starts floating it and he's getting closer. And he's like, let's get ready to rumble. As he like moves it over into the slot on the mirror.
Fairuza, you've got the closest view of this. You really see it slots in with a little click and the seams begin to disappear. This is a beautiful midday. The birds were chirping. All sound cuts out. And there is absolute silence. An arm reaches forward through the mirror, grabs onto the ground and the snow and the grass in front of it, and pulls as you see her head begin to step through. Another arm reaches out as she drags her body through the front of this mirror. You can begin to see the back of it
Vortex warp.
Vortex warp as soon as you see her?
Yep.
All right.
And as soon as I see the,
Yep.
there are now blue fireflies everywhere where that fully is happening.
The mirror is bouncing off the side of the tree as whatever is trying to burst its way out of the back begins to add pressure there. As you see her, now this is willing. It works. What do I do if I'm unwilling?
If she's unwilling, then she needs to do a con save 14.
Do you want to lock eyes with her or say anything as you do it?
I will absolutely be in the middle of the field looking at her if I need to be. I will yell out, "Ivy, let me help you."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm willing to persuade if I have to.
What is your DC on that? That will save?
14.
Okay. She locks eyes with you. She's barely out to her waist as the whole thing jolts forward, and she locks eyes with you, and you just something about, she rolled a pretty high insight on you. She breathes out and disappears. Suddenly reappearing at the far side of the clearing. You see her standing there as you turn to kind of look at her just for a moment, taking your eyes off of the mirror. And as she looks down at her body, you can begin to see icicles strowing over her arms, off through the tips of her fingertips. Even her hair, which was short and in curls, begins to spike down, almost as if icicles hanging from eaves all around her. As she looks down at her body and then over at you, Robin, and smiles and puts her hand to the sky. You begin to see flickers coming in and out behind her of a darker place behind her as she tries to hold the energy and open this door. The mirror falls down on its front face as you begin to hear kind of this, and the bowl bursts from the back, splintering the wood in all directions as it also, 1 foot, second hoof, pulls itself out, popping the corners of this confinement. And as it comes out, it almost shakes with power and energy as it begins to turn around in the fireflies. Do I make a dex saving throw?
Yep, DC 15.
I just make it. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
It's worth a try.
He's strong.
It shakes itself off, shaking off the fireflies at the same time, turns. Fairuza, you are right there.
Ooh.
It likes you. It stalks forward to you 1 step, 2 step, and looks at you.
You don't recognize me, Talron? Fairuza's beginning to get, like, as he's watching, if you guys are looking at her from across wherever you are, she seems to be growing bigger. Her hair is starting to flicker. And she's just standing her ground, staring at him. And she's sort of stroking her messenger bag, like absentmindedly, not realizing she's doing it.
Silent, like, I don't know, if we can just kind of act right now, but Silas is definitely just saying, master, and he's like trying to minor illusion something like up there, like we have prepared the way for you. She has fled through the woods, and he's pointing that
the other
way.
Direction.
Yeah.
He almost like stands on his hind feet as a bull. You know, the hooves kind of in his hips changing their orientation, and you hear a crack as he cracks his back and his neck, feeling the full range. Fairuza, he is easily twice your height as he stands up in this way and kind of moves and cracks his muscles. He hears you, Silas, but he takes a deep breath and spots her.
And what?
Spots Ivy at the far side of the clearing. He drops down, the whole ground shakes as he does. And you hear him say, and he begins to charge.
Are we doing initiative? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Do I get an OP or no?
He's just starting it. You will absolutely get to do whatever you need to do. Sorry, Robin's very excited. Robin, what do you got?
I swear, I got a nat 20 for a 25.
Nice.
For a 25.
Robin's
Nice.
ready.
Robin is so ready. All right. Who else is ready?
I'm pretty ready. I'm a 24.
Nice.
Wow.
24. All
Dirty
right.
20.
Dirty
Wow.
20 for
Wow.
Silas. Neb and Fairuza.
5.
5 for Fairuza.
I'm so pissed.
Okay.
This is
Neb?
the most ready Neb has ever been. 16.
16 for Neb.
Mhm.
Boy, well, yeah, y'all are going first here.
Mhm.
All right, Robin, you're up first. You just see it stamp down and kick its foot, like a bull getting ready to charge.
Ooh.
All right. Robin is going to. Okay. But he hasn't moved forward yet.
No,
Right.
but he's preparing to, yes.
Can I? Okay. This is kind of a DM's choice. This
Okay.
spell it says that you can. Okay, no, it doesn't. I think it's fine. Robin would like to. She starts almost muttering to herself, and she'd be like, "And the one time back in the war when I was," and she's just like saying these whispers to herself as she tells like this really boring story. And right in the center of the field
Yes.
is this kind of shimmer, but it's invisible. But I'm creating a 100. Oh my god, 40-foot cube.
Okay.
So, well, I probably won't make it that big because it's how big is the field? 60 feet.
60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
20 feet in, I'm
Mhm.
gonna make a not even 20 feet, 10 feet past Fairuza because I don't want
Gotcha.
Fairuza to get into it. That's my
Yes.
hope. She's casting slow
Between you guys and Fairuza.
between Talron and Ivy. So in the
Yes.
middle of the field.
Yes.
So if he were to charge forward, he'll get into this and then
Yes.
he'll have to make some saves.
Yes.
But my attempt is to try to, once he starts running away from Fairuza, he'll get caught in this slow.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay. Anything else, Robin?
and that'll be, yeah, that'll be it for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin, you begin to mutter under your breath, and anyone who's coming towards you and begins to hear these long, drawn-out stories of names of people they've never heard of before will potentially be slowed as they approach. Maeve, you are up next.
So my Swiss or my letter opener extends that dark galaxy blade reaching out as I swing down from the tree to attack. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have my eye on him.
Great.
Next up, I am going to attack, saying, I warned you to stay put. You're not going anywhere. And I am going to attack there with. Is a 26 to hit?
A 26 to hit will hit.
Okay. So. It's 3 plus 4.
And this is a magical weapon.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
Okay, so this is 9. 18 plus. Why am I missing something? No, 18 plus. 25 points of damage. But it's a crit because I had my eye on him.
Okay.
So whatever I just said, did I say 21?
25,
points?
you said.
25 points. Okay. And then the crit is 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. Wait. Sorry. Math.
No worries.
10,
Fast math.
23 on the second.
All right. 48 points of damage off
Nice.
the bat here.
I will
Maeve-
then.
Go ahead, you finish.
And once I do that, he is now wreathed with thunder potential energy. If he chooses to move, he will take additional damage.
All right.
And I am going to swing back up, climbing back up that rope triumphantly.
So
Amazing.
Even though I know he can fly.
your let's see, your range on your is 5 feet or 10 feet. You have to get in within melee.
Yes, I have to get
To
him
do it. Okay, so
within melee.
you drop out of the trees, you run up towards him, just stabbing him through with this long extended letter opener. As you pull it back, it's almost like his blood is fire. You pull it back and it's fire, liquid, alchemist's fire dripping off the edge of your blade, which kind of burns bright, hot, molten, as if it's been stuck into a forge. As you then sort of back up and then climb back up into that tree from there, you can see as he kind of feels it and looks back towards you as he was about to run forward, you have absolutely gotten his attention. Are you hiding again? Can you hide again? I don't think.
Can I hide again? So I used my bonus action already. So I cannot hide again,
But you're back in the trees.
but I am back up in the trees.
Okay, great. Cool.
Because I've climbed back up that vine.
Yes.
that I
So
swung down on,
he's,
and he cannot take an attack of opportunity on me.
he can't take it. Exactly. Yes, I remember that. So yes, so he as you go away, you absolutely grab his attention as he watches you back
All
up
four
into
of
the
me.
woods. All four of you, yes, back up into the woods and climb back up into your tree. Silas, you see Maeve appear out of the trees, stab this thing, and back off back into the tree line, and she has absolutely grabbed its attention.
All right. Silas is going to he is going to just fly forward with both fists, and he is going to actually as an attack, he is going to try to basically just continue with a melee strike.
Okay.
Straight into Talron. And that is going to be, let's see. There's an 18 to hit.
18 will miss.
Okay.
So I'm not sure when I'm supposed to jump in on this. So if it's too late to do the thing, let me know.
To add your help.
Yeah. So because it doesn't say when I can do it.
Okay,
It just says,
then hey, if it doesn't say.
so we'll see if it works.
Okay.
Neb is watching Silas rocket towards the
Yes.
bowl. It's like, Silas does so much to help everybody, just with a couple of words. He deserves kind of the same help. And Silas, you just kind of feel a little warmth, a little sparkle. You can add a d6 to that.
Okay. And that is added 6. So what was it originally? 18?
It was an 18.
24?
With a 24, that little like energetic, you maybe just feel Neb's confidence and support. It changes your trajectory just a little bit. You were gonna go kind of aim for what you thought was a vulnerable spot, but he's moving, and actually it was an overcorrection, and this puts you right on strike to hit him. Go ahead
All
and
right.
give me your damage.
That's going to do 10 points of, let's see, that is force damage. And as that happens, though, it's going to need to make a, let me make sure it's a strength saving throw.
Okay.
That is going to need to be a 16.
He makes it.
Okay, so nothing else happens there, but then Silas just says, I was the diversion anyway, and kind of you hear transforming sound again behind, and that kind of shimmery prime comes in with a giant like glowing axe and swings at this as my psychic weapon attacks now.
Go ahead.
And that is a 19 plus 8, so yeah,
That'll
27.
hit.
And that
Oh, you
is
guys are
going to-
powerful.
And that is going to be.
Oh, I had some tough dudes here.
let's see.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me make sure I did the right thing here. That is going to be Oh, it was more damage than I thought. Okay, so that's going to be 13 points of additional force damage.
Force damage. Okay.
And I'm going to stay in melee at this point.
All right. So sort of flying within the 5 feet. Okay. So you sort of hover around him as he feels you burst into him, and his head then swings back around, kind of just, you move a little bit as it swings past you, as it hears you say, I was just the diversion. Anything else, Silas?
That's it for now.
All right. Pivim's turn. Pivim kind of goes, and in the area that you have created for Slow, Robin, he kind of is listening to you and is like, interesting. He sort of starts to kind of point. And as he's doing that, these spiky, thorny vines begin to grow up in the same area as your Slow area here, kind of making it, extra funky for you there. But it doesn't look any different after they grow. They seem to kind of disappear, but I think you know what he's doing. Fantastic. That's gonna be his thing. All right, that's Pivim. Neb, you're up next.
Neb is gonna pull back and launch her rock first as though it's out of a bow, but gets slightly distracted with this new ability that she's able to. That worked. I didn't know if that would work. I wonder if I have to say specific words. And so for her archer attack, she rolled a natural 1 for an 8.
Oh.
Rock comes back into her hand. Focus. Focus. And now she's going to sling it again, and this time it turns into that giant shooting star. 19 to hit?
19 will hit.
All right. He's going to take 18 radiant damage. And as the fireflies go away, because she's going to stop focusing on that for a moment, he is going to begin to glow with like this blue light, this light blue shimmering. And the next attack roll on Talron has advantage.
Okay. Phew. All right. Is that all, Neb?
Yeah, she'll move a little bit like to the left, just so that we're not totally clumped up, but that's it.
Okay.
And she's still in her smoky form.
Cool. That's not gonna right there. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, as you are holding your ground there with Pivim and Robin by your side, and Silas, you've moved into the melee, and Fairuza, you're still holding your ground, getting bigger and bigger in front of him as he tries to split his attention between Maeve, who hit him so badly, Silas, who used all of his psychic power to inflict this pain, what's coming in from Neb, and then of course his target, not so very far away, just on the other side. We briefly look over at Ivy, who begins to, if you were to, grab her attention, and she's sort of flickering, it's getting bigger. Almost like this whole clearing is beginning to flicker as this grows around and around. And sometimes behind her, you see sort of this icy, dark world. Sometimes you see vast oceans. Sometimes you see clouds, just in and out as they come, as it sort of flickers, and it's having trouble holding, but it's growing and strengthening all the while. Fairuza, it is your turn.
Ooh, okay, so with that happening, Fairuza notices, and she sort of looks over at the others to make sure, like, it's still okay, or should she be dashing at this point? When she sees that everything is just fine, she is, okay. She's just gonna reaches for her axe, because it's begun to, she feels the energy at her side. She picks it up, and of course, it's massive, but it looks like it's sort of pulsating, and the way it pulsating, it looks like there's like 2 of them. So she takes it, turns it in her hands, instinctively turns it on its side, and if you guys are in San Diego, she can do this. She takes it and she cracks it over her knee, and she has 2 axes.
Amazing.
And as she's looking, I guess, at Talron's back at this point. Where is he?
Kind of. I mean, his middle section. He's sort of spinning around trying to figure out. You're coming from all different angles.
Okay, she has 2, and because she has 2 attacks. And
Yeah.
She throws them both like axes, and as they throw, 2 appear in her hand. But that doesn't matter at this moment.
You
Let's see if they see
you
that.
are in melee range of him, so you would have disadvantage on ranged attacks if you would like
have
to,
to
of course,
move.
use your melee.
Well, I could use my melee and hit him anyway while standing there.
That's all I'm saying. It's up to you.
She's
You can choose
just
which
gonna
one.
just slam him in
Okay.
the back with both axes. So I have advantage on the first because she's reckless. So let's see.
Absolutely.
I don't even need it. 2 plus.
I don't even.
Yeah, the first one's 21.
You actually don't
21
need to
hit.
go reckless because that first one you get advantage from
Yeah.
my
Yes. Oh, yeah.
stuff if you don't want to reckless.
And the second one's 15.
Is it the second one is 15?
Yeah.
The first one will hit. The second one will miss.
Okay. Because I have advantage on the
Mhm.
first one. I didn't use advantage on the second. I don't get advantage on the second one, right? Because I used
Yeah,
some
with
reckless on
reckless.
the first one.
Oh, is that true?
Okay.
Oh no,
for
but
my-
not reckless.
for my
reckless, you
thing.
still get advantage.
Reckless, you
Yeah.
get it on the second. So if you're reckless, you can get advantage
and
on the
they
second.
just
one.
actually changed
Try
it
it.
in the new material
17.
to last the whole round.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
What is
It's
it?
like 18.
An 18?
'cause 17 was third, yeah.
Unfortunately misses still.
Yes,
Ah,
yes, definitely.
still misses
So-
even with with an 18. Unless it's an 18 plus something. Is it 18 plus? Did you roll
No,
an
it's
18?
18 flat
total.
with the-
Yeah, so you miss with the 18 still. But
So
the
just
first
the
one will
first
hit.
Okay.
Because that you said that was a
Let's do
21? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, it was 20
Yeah,
on the first
great.
one.
Good.
So it's
Damage.
15 plus 6 plus 21 plus 1d6 because of elemental cleaver.
Woo!
Oh, plus 6.
All right.
Plus 6.
Who was mathing?
I
27.
know, right? So what plus is 27?
27 total,
Yeah.
Fairuza, for that
It's
one hit?
27 total, yeah.
Good lord.
Wow.
And
All
you
right.
notice, I mean, that those 2 axes, one is like light, one is totally like electricity you guys are used to seeing, and the other one is like looks like it's pulsating, like booming, like there's thunder in it. So there's 2 different elements in each axe.
Cool.
Thunder and
Yep,
lightning, yeah.
Very, very
like-
frightening.
So the first one, boom, hits its mark perfectly as you pull it out, and again it's all lit up with this fiery dripping blood from this creature, and then you go to swing the other one, but it's now knows it's coming as it sensed this first hit, and it just kind of moves a little bit, and you glance off the side of it with this second swing as it swings around, just narrowly missing. Anything else you'd like to do, Fairuza?
That is all I can do right now.
All right, fantastic. Just at the end of this round before he goes, I just want to celebrate the fact that you all have done 116 points of damage in one round. That's wild. Let's see if I can even it up.
She's just buttering us up.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Listen, the calm before the storm happens. I'm okay with this.
As all of this sort of this fiery blood is dripping out of the side of him, and again it's wild as it hits the ground and sizzles. It's making steam rise up all the way around, and you kind of see him, and as he does the big burst, fire just erupts around him. And I need Silas and Fairuza, both of you, no dexterity saving throw. Oops, sorry about
I
that.
have advantage.
Yeah, yeah, no dexterity saving throw.
We don't even get a save.
You don't get a save.
Oh.
That is
Nice.
14 fire damage.
How much?
Oh, okay.
Fire damage each.
I
for
also have
Fairuza.
resistance to fire.
Okay, there you go.
Actually,
Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Rob?
Robin sees this fire erupt, knowing like a fireball. She understands the power of a
Yes.
fireball, and she just goes, no. And you almost see a shield of glowing gold energy appear around Silas, and that ward, the protection ward takes the entire damage.
Entire damage.
It's a,
Nice.
So this fire rockets out farther than you could even run from. It's, it bursts out that you couldn't even really dodge it, and consumes everything in that area. For a moment, all you see is fire. However, it just seems to lick around the edges of Silas as Robin points and says, "No, Fairuza." It hits onto you, but something about who you are. You get singed a little bit, but you just sort of shake the rest of it off as the ends of your hair sizzle a little bit as you take that in. After that, he's gonna kick his feet. He's going to take some damage from you, Maeve, because he is still going to charge forward.
I'm also attacking him.
You are also attacking him
with my reaction with an opportunity.
He is on fire now. I'm letting you know. He is full on fire, burning if you are anywhere near him. Go ahead.
So thunder will burst out as he takes 15 points.
15 points of thunder damage.
Yeah.
Okay. He takes that 15 points of thunder damage. He's still, as he thunders forward himself. Go ahead, Silas, make your op attack. Fairuza, you'll be able to as well if you want it.
Okay.
That is a 19.
That is a 19 to hit. You will hit. However,
this is a force assisted strike. I'm not actually touching him.
You're not actually touching him. Fantastic. No. All right, give me your damage.
That is 7 points of force damage.
7 points of force damage. Okay.
And basically, like when Silas is doing this, you see him coming forward like he's punching, but then when he does it, it's like another hand in front of that is actually, making the contact.
So he misses, but the force of the punch extends beyond. Oh, that's like stage combat.
It's supposed to call into like that whole idea of what he saw in the reflection of it being a little bit ahead of him or whatever.
I love it. Absolutely. All right, Fairuza, you also get an op attack.
This doesn't come with advantage at all, right? It's just what it is.
Well, I mean, if they change the rules.
Yeah, they change. You get advantage through the beginning of your next turn. Yeah.
I'm willing to do it.
Oh yeah, that's a natural one for the first one, so I don't get to do it. Let's see. 11, 12.
Not gonna hit.
Yeah, no. She goes to kick him.
Wait. For your attacks, you only get a +1 to your attacks? That can't be.
Oh no, +6. 11 + 6, 17.
17. You're still gonna miss, but I was like, you can't possibly have a +1 as a barbarian on your.
The heck?
I'm
at the 1.
+6. Okay, good. I'm glad we make sure we remember that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately you miss. But he is thundering forward, and he. What is his passive? Nope. Runs right into Robin's slow area, as well as Pivim's, sprouty little thing. He was hoping to basically, you could see him sneering. He was hoping to basically bowl you all over as he ran through you. However, as he enters this space, Robin, first, what happens with slow?
All right, the affected target's speed is halved. Okay. They're going to take a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws.
Ooh.
Cannot use reactions. On its turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both.
Wow.
Regardless of the ability of magic items, it can't take one or more than one melee or ranged attack during this turn.
Incredible. Cool.
Roasted.
Thanks for that.
Teamwork.
All right, let's see. Okay, it's also in difficult terrain. It's going to take some piercing damage right off the bat here from his thorns. Not a lot, but it'll take it. Okay, that's going to be... Okay. All right. That's where we start with. He has run into this spot, and it's almost, the three of you in the center, or two of you in the center, three of you, because Pivim are there watching this enormous beast as it just charges towards you. And as it kind of leaps as if it's going to try to bowl through you, it just almost gets stuck like in jello. And in like those bad dreams where you're trying to run as fast as you can, but you just can't. And it begins to slow him down as he hears Robin just incessantly mumbling. And then an article you'll find that there's a derivative ingredient into this space. And Pivim gets a little chuckle as he uses his fingers to kind of manipulate those thorns, which wrap themselves around his ankles without him even seeing it or knowing it. Robin, you're up.
All right. Now the spell slow says absolutely nothing about items being affected or things. So it's a DM description. If you want it to be like I'll let it be up to you. I'll even say
it says 6 creatures of your choice, right? So
Right.
it
That's
has to be a
creature.
creature.
it's
and
on the creature.
It's
not
of your choice. So if you just
Okay.
choose Talron, then that should
Okay.
be it.
All right. Then Robin is going to, while still speaking these words, staying very concentrated.
Yes,
on
very
them,
concentrated.
picks up like a rock or anything that's next to her. Is there something that she can grab?
There's
Okay.
rocks.
She's gonna pick up a rock, biggest one she can find, and hold in one hand, and she's gonna catapult it at him. So
Fantastic.
it is a dexterity 14 saving throw, but I
Okay.
think he has some
He's-
sort of disadvantage or something. It takes a -2 penalty to dexterity saving throws.
-2 penalty to dexterity
Yeah.
saving throws. Okay, let me take a look here. All right. Come on. That is a, hold on, 13.
It's a 14.
Oh,
You did him.
Wow.
So the rock will explode. And then it's gonna take, oh my god, 5d8.
God,
Some
from a
rock.
stone. Oh my god.
Yes.
So it's 20 damage. 20
Any damage. What kind?
bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning, and this is magical
Yes.
because it's not really a stone.
Yes.
All right. You pick up a stone and still muttering under your breath, 3, 4, 5. This thing hurls and it just, you'd make Fairuza so proud. As it flies, Pivim's looking at it and kind of then looks over at you and is like, interesting. As it flies through the air with just lightning quickness and burst into him. As it does, it's almost like a puddle of this alchemist fire, slick coating on him. It just like drops in and all of the fire spills off to the side as it moves through, just obliterating half of him, as he just in slow motion kind of screams in bull.
And I can understand that.
Yeah, you can understand that. He goes, oh, you treacherous harpy.
That's Miss Robin's translation. It was worse
Yes,
than that.
Yeah.
Much worse, but yes. All right, Robin, anything else?
I think, no, I'm just gonna hold. Yep, no, I'm good.
Okay, Maeve in the trees.
Oh, you know what?
Go ahead. Yes, Robin.
I think I'm in the tree line, and
Yes.
I'm even gonna say this to Pivim. I think it's time we start moving, and I am gonna take my action or my movement to start moving
in that
along
direction.
along the tree line. Still, I won't go like directly towards her.
Well, you guys are in the middle of this.
Oh, okay,
clearing.
then I'm gonna start.
You're just gonna go straight towards her. By the
I
middle,
think so.
middle of the field towards her. Okay, great. So Robin was 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
You're moving in that direction. You get halfway there. Oh no! Wait, you're in the
That gets me
middle.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you there. So
Okay.
yeah, you run right up, right up in front of her.
Yeah.
You can see now that you're getting closer, Robin. You can see her skin is almost fully blue and white, almost as if you're looking through a frozen lake onto her skin. And even in there, the kind of thin, bluest of lips. Her eyes have gone a stark blue, and she doesn't even look at you as she comes, as she keeps her hands up above. She's not muttering, her lips are not moving, but you can hear very slow and deliberate coming through, whatever opening there is at that moment. You do look at her hands, and it is almost as if they go totally clear. Just long icicle points for the tips of her fingers. She looks quite different. The sort of icy blue dress that she used to wear in the visions that you saw of her have absolutely just become just crystals of snow, that shine like diamonds in the sunlight as it kind of grazes down her body. You can't see her feet any longer as it kind of almost joins the snow at her feet, so you can't see where her body ends and her dress begins. Robin, is that all?
I'm just gonna stand and turn so that I'm looking at the battlefield.
You're focused on the battlefield,
and I'm gonna be in front of her.
Okay. Maeve, up in the trees. You've seen this
So
thing charge forward and stop. Yeah.
So I am in the tree line. So I am going to I will no. Just no from here, because if it's stopped, I can see that the ground is treacherous there.
Uh-huh.
I don't really want to run straight into that. So I will just 2 force bolts come straight at. Boom, boom. First will miss. Second is a 22.
That will hit.
Okay. And that will.
He's also down 2 on his AC, right? Right, Robin? Okay.
Yep. I can't do math. 12.
12? Okay.
Yes. And then may I use the vines to help stabilize myself, and I'm going to use my bonus action to, I'm going to use my move action to go along the tree line.
Okay.
I don't think there's any, I'm going to use my bonus action to dash along the tree line.
Gotcha.
Towards the portal.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to take the long way around in terms of going around the edge.
Yeah, I guess I can use my move too, so I can. Yeah, I'll do
absolutely.
both. So it should get me closer.
Is it? Are you a third? What's your normal speed?
So my normal speed is 35.
35. So you go 70.
So I can go.
70 feet. Yeah, you start to move your way around the edge. That gets you, that's like 30. Yeah, I mean, that gets you, I'm going to say about 20 feet from Ivy as you kind of skirt around the edge of this thing. You can see Robin standing right in front of her. She just gets there, takes in who Ivy has become, and then shifts around to sort of keep her eye on the battlefield as you move, darting quick in and out of the trees, finding your footing, pulling yourself around, getting just within 20 feet off of that one side.
Maybe once in a while swinging from branch to branch.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's cool.
It's so cool. You grab a branch.
And Maeve's horns sort of glint in the light. Maeve's horns are these crystalline, they sort of glitter with a number of different colors, sort of similar to her sword, but it's not dark. It's a little more gray with these blues and purples that shimmer, sometimes greens. And as she's swinging and sort of weaving through the trees, they glint occasionally in the light.
Amazing. You find your footing about 20 feet away. We then move to Silas.
I am going to, as a bonus action, send Optimus up to Talron, and as he's going, you just hear kind of like this faint, like, one shall stand, one shall fall, and it continues to go up toward there, and that's going to be a 20, dirty 20.
A dirty 20 will hit.
Yeah, and that is going to do 12 points of 11 points
11 points?
of force damage. And then Silas is going to fly up over vines and is going to move his speed 30 feet to get in front of Talron. at this point
Okay.
in time, like
Okay.
between Talron and where, and then basically he's going to just go up and over and then kind of turn a flip, and then his cape is kind of flapping in the wind, and then he puts both hands on his temples, and you see his eye lights up, and then he starts whispering, and he doesn't know how to speak it, but he can mimic the same language that Talron is doing just from he's saying words he doesn't understand what's happening, but then Talron needs to make a wisdom saving throw of that'll be 16.
Oh,
What did he just call Robin?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I couldn't remember what it was, but he's calling him a harpy.
treacherous
basically,
harpy.
Yeah.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That's gonna be 16.
Yeah, 16.
That's what I rolled.
Oh,
So I just
16.
make it?
Silas is going to say, "No, really, I want you to understand me," and I'm going to use a reaction to cast Silvery Barbs.
Okay. So you're doing it again?
And make him re-roll it.
Nope. That's not gonna do it. He's
Okay.
failed.
All right. So then what he is going to, on a failed save, I'll roll his damage. He's going to take. Let's see.
Although, hold on just a second. No, he's still good. He's still good.
Okay.
You're good.
So that is going to be, let's see, 15 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
But then must immediately use his reaction to move as far as his speed allows away from me.
Now he can't use reactions.
Because he's in
'Cause he's
slow.
slow.
But
I don't know what that means.
he can't
Okay,
use
it means it's not available. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
available to
got it.
use it. It's
All
okay.
right.
Okay. So yeah, and he does not respond to that. However, the sort of hit of that, rocks him. And this is the first time you're really seeing a bit on the ropes here. He, never before in your fights had you ever seen any hint of, doubt or fear in him, in this kind of being unable to move and being surrounded by flies, when what he wants is literally 40 feet in front of him. You sort of see his eyes with this hit, and just betrays, him pretty well, especially since you were like potentially his yes man. Yes man. He's you catch a little bit of something in his eyes. Anything else, Silas?
No, that's it.
Okay. Pivim is going to let that continue to go. He's concentrating on that as well, but he is also sort of seeing Robin's, move. He is going to start to sort of turn and sprint his way. Now he's much slower, or, he doesn't have as much of a speed. So he's going to get pretty much within like 10 feet of you, Robin, as he gets closer. At which point he's going to turn into a deer and really be able to sprint as fast as he needs to that place. Neb.
Real quick,
Mhm.
how I'm still in the center. How far away is Talron from me, or from like the edge of the slow and all the stuff?
How far is Talron from you?
Yeah.
About 10
If
feet.
I'm in the center.
Maybe 20 feet.
Okay. And how much from him forward towards me, how much of the slow / stuff that Pivim did is there?
So here's what I'm thinking. So here's where the mirror was. 10 feet in front of that was Fairuza. He moved past Fairuza probably about 5 feet to hit the slow spike area, which you said could be up to 20 feet, Robin?
It's 40 feet.
40, but you didn't want it to hit you.
Exactly. So I
Right.
did probably have
So
it.
I think if that was 15 of the 30 feet, it's probably just about 10 feet of slow within there. So he's probably about 15 feet from you, stuck in the slow.
Okay. I'm going to move
Mm-hmm.
in front of him, between him and
But
his
outside
target.
of the slow area. area.
but
Yeah.
just like
That's
inches.
slow shouldn't be working. Like slow only affects.
Oh,
a
that's true. It
specific
doesn't do
creature
anything
of a
to you.
choice.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
the-
true.
And this, let me check the spike growth.
But you know what?
However.
15
Yeah,
feet
spike
is
growth's
great.
different, but yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna stay on both of them.
Yeah, spike growth is there. That's 20 feet. So he, that's covering that whole sort of area. So you would have to deal with that if you got within 10 feet of him.
Well, I need to be within 15 feet of him. Would
Okay,
15
I'll allow
still...
10 feet.
Okay.
I'll allow 10.
Great. As Neb is moving in that direction, she's gonna sling her rock through her bow one more time. That's a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
So
Nice.
it's 12 radiant damage.
Oh, boy.
And then when she makes it to that spot, she's gonna lock eyes with this bull and say, "Didn't you hear? Everybody said no." And a wave of force is gonna come out from her that she's gonna scream as loud as she can. So it's gonna be a real powerful scream. I need Talron to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 15.
Constitution saving
Yeah, it's
throw.
worth a try.
Oh my god. I rolled a 2 and a 3 on my advantage thing. So hold on. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but let me do my math.
I'm sure his con is chunky.
It's a 12.
He fails.
He fails. Okay.
All right, he's gonna take 19 thunder damage.
Wow.
But more importantly, because he failed, he's pushed
This
10
is
feet away
wild.
from me.
He's pushed out of the slow, unfortunately.
Well,
then.
actually, no, because once I say he's affected and he fails, then he's slow.
Oh,
I think
great.
I
He gets a
understand.
save at the end of his turn.
At the end of his turn.
Oh, he does. Okay, good to know. Okay,
But
yeah,
wait,
he's-
that push in a spike growth is an owie.
it is absolutely
Probably.
That
yeah.
is scraped against thorns.
okay.
That's what I was hoping
so
for.
you get to give some damage. You did the damage. That was the 12, right? Okay.
Yes, I did
So
the thunder
now-
damage.
You're pushing him 10 feet
Yeah.
back, and he's gonna take. Oh boy, 4d4 off of those spiky spikes
Whoa.
from Pivim, who, as he's running, is just very excited about how well this is going.
Poke, 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 poke.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is some heavy thorn damage there for a little spell. Okay.
The thorns in Lorelia are big.
They
Super
are.
big.
These are
Iron thorns.
Big
Yeah.
cerulean thorns. All right. So yeah, as you push him back, and it pushes him out of the spike growth area for sure. However, he takes that ouchie on the way out as you push him back. And he is still slowed because it is affecting him and not the area. Thank you.
And
Anything else?
yeah, I will move backwards 10 feet.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit closer, but I need to stay within a specific range. So she's starting to move towards Ivy, but only about 10 feet.
All right.
And then that's
As
it.
you also turn and kind of get a glimpse of Ivy, and the more she's using this power, and the walls are flickering and coming around and around, trying to enclose this particular area, you can see it's probably going to be about 15 feet in diameter at this area as it's starting to kind of close in and flicker, showing these images around. It's also above you in the air. It's like a huge sphere of IMAX globe, not IMAX, like a what do you call those, dome theater, observatory theater things. As everything starts to flicker and move in, it's slowly knitting itself together. She's been at this for about just like 3-4 rounds, but she's holding on to it, and every second more that she does this, more of her body begins to look like snow and ice and spikiness. But she's still focusing on this. This is going to stay her thing, I think, for now.
And Neb just has this giant, you can't really tell because of the form she is in, but as she sees that, she's just got this big silly grin, like this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Fairuza, your turn.
Yes. Okay. So how far is Talron from Ivy at this point?
I'm gonna say
closer.
30, with now pushed 50 feet.
Oh, we've pushed 50 feet.
He got pushed back. So
Oh,
he's 50 feet from her.
So for me, he's about.
He's right there with you. He basically got pushed back to where you were.
Okay, that's where I got confused. Okay, hold on. All right, she's gonna stay because I was gonna do a different thing if he was still too far away. There was something
No,
else. I was
he's
going to do,
right
but-
up. He literally like he got pushed back, and you're
Push
like,
back. Okay, can he op attack? Probably not because he's not.
no,
focused
he doesn't
on
have a
me.
reaction, so no, he can't.
Okay, so for my movement, she's just gonna move around him to the other side, like
Okay.
moving toward the portal. Sort of
Yes,
moving
that
toward him.
side of it, you got it.
Yeah, so she's just gonna run around toward the portal, turn around with both axes again, and again, chop with both. So let's see. I'll do that then. Make it easy. Oh, 20 on the first 26 to hit.
You crit.
26 to hit. Natural 20. And it's
You
been
crit.
a while since one of those. Yeah.
Fantastic. Give us your second attack, and then we'll roll some massive damage.
Yay, second attack. Oh my god, 2 natural 20s! That never happened in my life. I swear. Oh shit.
I'm so excited she brought down the house.
We've
I
lost
told you
three
she was
frames
growing
over
too
my
big.
life. Oh my god, I just knocked
That
my
is-
computer over. Oh, 1 second.
Oh
Oh my god.
Fine.
no.
Oh my
Barbarian
God.
crits. Wow. Everything comes down.
Wow, that's never happened in my life before.
Clip that.
She brings down the whole
Frustrated.
forest.
Snort of this enormous beast who prior to you, as you were still learning who you were and what you could do, felt like an impossible, immortal god. He tossed Silas around like a rag doll. He has several times beat Neb to a bloody pulp. You run in front of him with all of the electric power and presence and confidence that you have. Tell me how you make these two attacks. What are these two amazing axe attacks that come?
Okay, yeah. You know what? One is an axe, and the
Okay.
other one, just by like the sheer like strength of her imagination, one is this axe, but one she's sort of keeping a connection to like who she is back home, and one turns into a giant gavel. And the gavel is like the gavel is the one that's sort of thunder. It's sort of
Who you
shaped like
were
thunder,
and
this
who
is
you
like
will
this-
become.
Yes. And with the first one, with the gavel first, she slams him and she screams order. And with the axe, she goes to the side, and she's sort of spinning it in her hand like a baton as she's spinning. Puts it back behind her back. That's one,
So
two.
the first gavel hit, boom,
Like
right,
boom over the top.
yeah, right through. He's dropped down to all fours again, right across the face, and fire just goes flying off the side of him. This alchemist liquidy fire, however, does spray back on you. You're going to take 2 fire damage, 1 for you, right? As it just sizzles away on your cheek. The second attack with your great axe. What do you do with that?
The great axe. You want me to roll?
No, just tell me. What you
Oh,
explain
with
the
this one?
gavel? What do you do with
Yeah,
the great
so
axe?
it's like, this is like alright, and this one's just like as she's sort of spinning it. it's
Oh,
like a
right.
Clean slice.
Clean
slice
slice right
his head.
through the
His
neck,
throat. Yeah.
through
it's
the
like-
throat, as just bloody fire, drippy, fiery ooze begins to spurt from within, and it sprays out towards you. Again, you're gonna take 5 fire damage, halved for you there as it sprays, as he just seems to melt into a bubbling pool of fire. As it gets lower and lower, however, there's a little rumble on the ground. All the rest of you, as you're sort of getting an eye, Maeve, you're 20 feet. Silas, you're still floating kind of centrally. Fairuza, you're standing right in front of him. Pivim and Robin, you guys are right by Ivy. She's almost got it closed. It's beginning to knit itself together. You're beginning to see more clearly this snowy land on the other side that she's going to bring you to. He explodes. Slippery, oily fire fling out in a 60-foot range. Every single one of you needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna double check that slow doesn't affect any of this.
Well, he's dying.
Okay.
This
okay,
is
okay,
not an
okay.
action. This is just
Okay.
what happens when he
I
dies.
look
Just
forward to
picture his
seeing
body
Fairuza, the new
slowly-
Lord of Fire.
Okay, sorry. What was this? A dexterity?
It'd be dexterity saving throw.
So I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Great.
If that's okay.
For advantage, you may.
I am
from the
also
hand.
going to use my
Smart.
inspiration.
I swear I got a net 20.
Pocket protection comes in.
My inspiration did not help.
What is happening tonight?
Oh no!
We're gonna go around. in
You're
just a
too far
minute
from
here.
me, right, Neb? You're too far from me, I think.
I'm not next to you, if that's what you mean.
How far? How
Yeah.
far does she have to be?
Oh, and for me, well, I was just saying, I have a shield effect now. So I was wondering if she's
Oh, that's
near me.
right,
Can I
that's right.
throw it in front of her somehow? Or I don't know if that works that way with dexterity saving.
Let's get
Okay.
results here, and then I'll see if you want to try that.
Alright.
We'll see if we find a way to do it. Okay, let's start with Maeve.
22.
A 22. Neb.
Sorry, I'm reading real quick.
No, okay, we'll go.
Um,
Okay, Silas.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Robin.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Right. Fairuza.
18, because I have advantage with danger sense.
Okay, so Neb.
There's a moment in where she's trying to like stumble out of the way, and she remembers the inspiring thing that she told Silas, and she's like, "I can do that for myself too." And I used everything possible, and I got an 18.
Woo! Okay.
I used inspiration. I used an omen. I got a decent roll, so we'll see what happens.
Here it goes.
It would be 42 points of damage.
Oh my gosh!
You're all gonna take 21.
I'm still alive.
As-
Silas takes none.
Silas takes none as this fire bursts out. However, he is finished. As Ivy begins to finish and close, and she looks at all of you and she says, "Hurry." And you all begin to run towards her. That is where we will end this episode of Éarte. Thank you all so much for staying a little extra late today. For vanquishing Talron. I love you all. Thank you. We will see you next week. And please remember, we are what we believe we are.
Oh
Good
my
night.
god.